What are the 7 things that you can 100% rely on a narcissist to do? I'm going to tell you in this video. Hey there, I'm Rebecca Zung, and I'm a lawyer and a narcissist negotiation expert, and I've helped millions of people go from lives of drama, trauma, and chaos to step into lives of freedom, possibility, and purpose. I've written 2 best-selling books, Breaking Free and Negotiate Like You Matter. And if you want to learn how to shift the dynamic against narcissists, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. Okay, by the end of this video, you're going to have 7 ways that you can 100% rely on narcissists. There's lots of things that you can rely on narcissists not to do, but what can you 100% rely on them to do? Okay, number one, you can 100% rely on them to ruin special occasions. And why is that? Why do they love to ruin special occasions? Well, they don't want to see you getting the attention. They hate when you are getting attention or other people are getting attention. I mean, that's just the bottom line. There is a supreme example in the whole Will Smith, Jada situation. I'm telling you, what a better example than right there. Here it was, the pinnacle of his career. He is supposed to get his Oscar and Chris Rock is there. He's supposed to make jokes about celebrities. That's his job. And, you know, I get that this is my opinion, but, you know, he makes a joke about Jada's bald head. And everybody knows at this point that 2 days before the Oscars, she had made a TikTok video that said, I don't give 2 craps about this bald head. She said she didn't care about it. Chris Rock says something about the bald head and everybody's laughing, including Will Smith. And what happens? She gives him the look. You know, if you had read Will Smith's book, you know that he was triggered by that because he didn't protect his mom, or he felt like he was supposed to have protected his mom when he was 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old. And his father, you know, he had beaten his mom when he was a kid, and he felt like he should have been able to protect her. And so when Jada gave him the look, he was triggered by that. And so there he goes, and he goes up there and he does this thing, and she ruins that special occasion for him. But, you know, I've done other videos on YouTube about that, why narcissists love to ruin holidays. I highly encourage you to check those out. You know, why do narcissists love to ruin holidays? Why do they love to ruin your birthday? Because they can't stand for other people to be getting that attention. They just absolutely drives them crazy because other people are taking that supply away from them. So you can 100% rely on a narcissist to ruin special occasions. That's number one. Number 2, the next thing that you can 100% rely on a narcissist to do is treat strangers better than you. You can 100% rely on that because it's that face, right? That outward thing, you know, where they are 100% want to look better than to the outside world. That's that diamond level supply that I talk about. That is more important to them than what's going on inside, because, you know, they don't have that internal sense of value. So they're constantly trying to feed their emptiness inside and trying to feed it from external sources is better than internal sources. And so, because, you know, they already have you right there. And they can treat you poorly, degrading you, debasing you, and controlling you. And they get a sense of supply from that as well. So that's another form of supply that they're already getting from you. So by them, like, in other words, they want the strangers to give them adulation and compliments and that sort of thing. And if they can get that from the strangers, oh, you're so wonderful, you're so amazing, all that sort of thing, well, then that's even better from their perspective. So that's why they treat strangers better than you. And so you can definitely 100% rely on that. They want strangers to think that they're wonderful. They're basically love bombing the strangers all the time. So you can 100% rely on that. So the number three thing that you can 100% rely on a narcissist to do is project and deflect. They will always project and deflect, meaning they're not going to take responsibility. So, even if you for sure show like you were supposed to do this thing, or, I used to have people who would work for me or whatever, and they were supposed to complete a task or whatever. Oh, it was always somebody else. It was somebody else's fault. It was always something happened or whatever. They can never, ever, ever take responsibility, project and deflect it, or it's your fault. If you had just been better, or if this had just happened or whatever, they can never, ever, ever take responsibility. And part of that is because they don't have any sense of self-worth. They don't have any sense of value. And so if they have to take responsibility, then somehow it takes away from them. So that's number three. Number four is what I call lying and denying. It's very closely related to projecting and deflecting, but it's a little bit different. And that is that, they will always lie and deny. And so again, even if you present like complete a text message or obvious evidence that says you did this thing, you said this thing. No, didn't happen. Nope. Lying and denying. They will absolutely lie right to your face. And hey, that becomes great leverage, by the way. If you end up having to litigate against them, you end up having a case with them. That's how you build your case. That's how you start building your summaries. That's how you start building your leverage, which is what I teach you guys. And if you want to know more about what happens when you catch a narcissist in a lie, definitely have a YouTube video on that. Highly encourage you guys to check that out. And if you agree with me so far, highly encourage you, write amen in the comments here, because you know that what I'm saying is true so far, right? I know you guys have seen this. So, 100% you can rely on a narcissist to do these things so far, right? All right. So the number five thing that you can 100% rely on a narcissist to do is gaslight. All narcissists gaslight. Whether you're dealing with a covert narcissist, a grandiose narcissist, a malignant narcissist, whatever supreme kind of narcissist you're dealing with, you can 100% rely on a narcissist to gaslight. They all gaslight. So what is gaslighting? Gaslighting is when they're trying to make you think you're crazy. They literally are trying to basically say that what you're seeing with your eyes, what you're hearing with your ears, what you're experiencing with your senses is not true, is not happening, is not what you're experiencing. And it literally eventually makes you think that you're crazy. I've been honest and candid with you guys in the sense that I have dealt with narcissists in my own life, not just in my law practice, which obviously I've seen a ton of them in my law practice as well, but I've had to deal with a couple of covert narcissists in my personal life. I had one as a business partner, and my husband and I had one in our family. And, I've personally had to deal with gaslighting, and it's really just insane when you're experiencing this gaslighting, when you've had a conversation with somebody and they they literally come back and say, oh, we talked about that, don't you remember? And you didn't have that conversation, or that the conversation was something different than what you talked about. It's crazy. Or when they're presenting something that's completely different. I've actually seen it in court. I've actually seen lawyers who will say, this is what the court order said, and the court order says something completely different. And even when presented with what the court order actually says, they'll say, well, I know that's what it says, but that's not what it says. And trying to convince the judge that it says something different, even though in black and white, it'll say something different, just to try to see if they can get the judge to be convinced. And sometimes the judge will be convinced. I mean, it's pretty powerful, this gaslighting sometimes. So it's a scary kind of a tactic when somebody can be that influential, and especially when they're working on that person all the time. It's a tactic to destabilize you. It's a control tactic, and they've used it daily, day in and day out over time and over years. It can definitely be very, very effective. So that's number 5, and that's gaslighting. So number 6 of the 7 things that you can 100% rely on a narcissist to do is love bombing. And I also include in here, this number 6, future faking, narcissist, faux apologies. Some people say apologies. I call them faux apologies, FAOU, because they're fake apologies, which they use when they're needed. It's all a manipulation. Everything is a manipulation. Everything they do say, every time they try to love bomb you, it's a manipulation. Every time they try to future fake you, it's a manipulation. It's all a game. It's all meant to manipulate you. It's all an attempt to manipulate you. And this I insert here at number 6 for a reason. The reason why I'm inserting it here at number 6, right before number 7, which I haven't gotten to number 7 yet, and you need to stay until I get to number 7 for a reason, is because this is where you're like, oh my God, I can't take it anymore. I'm out of here. You're plotting and planning to get the heck out of there. And if you're in a romantic relationship, you're packing your suitcase, maybe you visited the divorce attorney. If you're in a business relationship, you're finally like, okay, how do I get out of this thing? And now they come back. Now they start to realize, oh, they're leaving. My supply is walking out the door. So they start to love bomb you again. Now they start to future fake you. Now they start to apologize because they don't want their supply source to leave. Oh, things will be better. Or they start to do the things that they were supposed to do in the first place. This is what I saw in my business relationship with the person that I was in the relationship with. All of a sudden, the person started doing all the things that she was supposed to do before. She started completing all the tasks that she said that she was going to do and then never had done. For me, personally, I was like annoyed because I thought, oh, so you did know that what you were supposed to do, you just weren't doing it. So that, for me, that wasn't helpful. But for other people, who are in an intimate relationship, they could get sucked back in, and oftentimes very much are, because they hear what they wanted to hear, especially, if you've invested a lot of time, you have children, maybe financially you're tied. This is where they're really, really good at saying exactly what they need to say in order to charm that person back into the fold. So 100%, you can rely on a narcissist to get that person back, because they don't want to see their supply source gone. Not that they love you. Don't confuse number 6, the love bombing, the future faking, or the faux apology, with love. And it can be very, very confusing. Don't confuse this with they actually have affection for you, they love you, they want you, or anything like that. This is definitely a manipulation. All right, number 7, we made it to number 7. Number 7 is you can 100% rely on them to drain the life out of you, because they are sucking all of that energy from you. They are energy vampires. Before I knew these terms, I used to say that, when I was dealing with a narcissist, I used to say it was like a leech. I didn't know why I felt that way, but I felt that way. I mean, you can 100% rely, because it is a black hole. That need for supply that they have, it can never be filled. You are expected to try to fill it, but you can never fill it. And so that's number 7, is you can 100% rely on them to drain the life out of you. And you will end up feeling completely depleted, completely drained. And you're going to end up feeling like your soul is sucked. So those are the 7 things that you can 100% rely on a narcissist to do. If you have not subscribed to this channel, I would 100% suggest that you do that now. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you have not joined my free private Facebook group, do that now so that you can get the support that you need. And we will drop a link to that below. And if you think that you might be in a relationship with a narcissist, I have a free quiz to that below, a link to that below in the description. And I also have a free Crush My Negotiation prep worksheet at winmynegotiation.com that you can grab, 15-page free ebook at winmynegotiation.com, which you can also grab. So, and if you like this video, give it a like, give it a share so that other people can get this information. Also, I'm Rebecca Zung. I am so glad that you're here, and I'm so glad that you have joined me today. Remember, today's a great day to start negotiating your best life. Never give in, never give up. And I will see you in the next video. Namaste.